Good day, subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Levi. This is the Cybersecurity Education channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. So you get that nasty, dreaded email that says you have been involved in a data breach, or you haven't gotten one yet, but there's a high chance that you will get one. So today I'm going to talk about all the different steps that you can do to protect yourself when you're involved in a data breach, to help limit the damages that can be caused to you in a data breach. So what type of damages can be caused to you in a data breach? Well, if you have a credit card number or any type of financial account inside of that data breach, or passwords and such like that, that information can be used to compromise your other accounts, because most people use the same password over and over again for other sites. That financial information can be used to drain all your bank accounts and max out your credit cards and such. So I'm going to be going through and teaching you different steps that you can do to help protect yourself. All right, so the very first thing that I recommend, data breach or not, go ahead and set up a monitor for yourself at haveibeenpwned.com. When you go to that website, you can either type your email on the front of the page and it'll show you what data breaches that email has been involved in. Otherwise, there's a notify me button up at the top of the page. You can go ahead and register your email address on that page, and then every time you get involved in a data breach, you'll get shot an email notifying that you are involved inside of that data breach. I recommend that you highly sign up on haveibeenpwned.com. Do that with every email address that you have, so that way you see the data breaches coming in, because you're not necessarily going to know about it right away. This site will probably be the fastest way you'll find out about it. Other methods that you'll see it in, probably you'll get an email from the company that you're involved with, but not always. And then a lot of times you'll see it in the news eventually if it's big enough, right? All right, so moving on from that, we're going to start off with the first step. The very first step that you should do, as soon as you know that you've been breached, go ahead and change your password on that site. And make sure to change it to something at least over 15 characters long. I have a video that I can tag above on how to set a good password. Basically, you want to have it longer than 15 characters long. The longer, the better. The length of the password is more important than how complicated the password is. Honestly, you should be... If you want to make a really good password, you want to put it out in phrases and such like that. I talk about that in that how to set a good password video. You can watch that if you want to learn more. So yeah, that's the first step. The second step, change your passwords on the other site with the same password that you had on the site that was breached. I know most of you people out there, just from the statistics, set the same password on every website. Which means that when you get breached, you need to change the passwords on all of those websites. And you also need to change what you're doing. You need to get a password manager. You need to get a password book, something like that. And so that way you don't have to worry about that. If you have those methods set up, then all you have to do is change the password on that site and you're good to go. All right, so number 3 here. Figured out what was stolen in the first place. You can find that from the press release. You can contact the company that your information was stolen from. They might tell you inside of the email. You really need to know what type of information was stolen, because if you have your social security number in there, that really brings up the AMPI, or any type of financial information. That really brings up like how important this breach is. You know, like if it's just a username and password and your name and such, like it's not a big deal. It's not as big of a deal. But when you have social security numbers and you have financial accounts, like that really ups the ante on it, right? So find out what's been involved in the breach. Number 4, take any services that the company offers. So like if they offer free credit monitoring, go ahead and take that. Like if they offer free legal services or stuff, go ahead and take that. Like anything that's free in that situation, go ahead and take it. I think most of them are required to offer credit monitoring, or they end up doing it anyway, so you might as well use it. Number 5, monitor your credit, and a website that I suggest, creditkarma.com. You can go ahead and sign up on there. I think you got to put in your social security number and some basic information about yourself, and then you can go ahead and see your credit score. And then they have 2 of the 3 major credit bureaus, and you can see your scores on there. You can go through in your reports and see what type of new credit has been opened, what type of credit's been closed, and the amounts and such like that. I highly recommend doing that, and not only do I recommend doing that during a breach, I recommend you do that at least once a month, if not every week. You can go in there every week and it'll update the information, so I highly recommend looking at that every week. So if you're involved in a data breach, you should definitely be looking at that every single week. If you're not involved in a data breach, once a month is probably good enough. Also, with monitoring credit, you want to look at your credit card statements, your bank statements, anything like that. You want to keep up on that all the time. So if somebody makes malicious charges, you can go ahead and contact your providers and be like, hey, these are malicious, and clear those things out, right? Number 6, cancel your associated financial accounts. So if you know there's like a credit card or a debit card or a checking account number or something like that, go ahead and close those accounts. You don't want that information in. Obviously, you don't want that information in there for them to be able, for the criminals to be able to go and use that and steal money from you, right? Number 7, set up a credit freeze. So there's 3 major credit bureaus. You'll have to go to each one of their websites, and you can set up a credit freeze on each one of their websites. Basically, so that when you go to get a loan, you have to contact those credit bureaus to have your credit taken, you know. So normally you would go, let's say I go and get a car loan. I just go to the bank and I fill out some basic information about myself, and then the bank is able to pull down my credit and see what it is. Well, if you have credit monitoring set up and you didn't type in like a PIN, and you didn't give the bank like a PIN to pull that information, or you didn't log into the credit bureau's website, depending on which credit bureau you're using is what method you could use. The bank might not be able to pull that information. It might just deny them. So it's just an extra level of protection. And then finally, number 8, file your taxes as early as possible. And the reason to do this is because if you have personal information that was leaked in the data breach, that information could be used against you to file your taxes early, for somebody else to file your taxes, and then file a refund that you didn't actually do, and that can cause a lot of problems for you, especially if it was a huge refund that you didn't get. Like, you just don't want that drama. File your taxes as early as possible. So yeah, these are the 8 steps that you can do to protect yourself. It's not fun being involved in a data breach, but it's inevitable this day and age. If you haven't been involved in one yet, you're going to be. I can almost guarantee it. There's just so many of them going on all the time, and it's hard for every single website that you go to keep up on their security all the time and be perfect. Nobody's perfect, right? And anything's attackable. So you're likely going to be involved in a data breach. By following these steps that I mentioned, you will really limit your risk inside of a data breach, and your likelihood of your accounts getting taken over will be a lot less, and your likelihood of losing money from your financial accounts will be a lot less as well. So like I've always talked about in previous videos, you really want to make things as hard as possible. The harder it is to come after something from you, the less likely that you're going to be a target. So if you get breached and you have all this stuff set up, guess what? Like they don't have your password to get in your account because they don't have a because you changed it, right? You had different passwords on every website. You contacted the financial companies that were on the account, and you cancel all those, so boom, they can't use your credit cards. Yeah, you're just making it much harder, and that's really what you want to do in security. It's all about making it harder for the other person, right? So I hope you guys really enjoyed this content. If you like this content, click the like button and smash that subscribe button. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.